Welcome, guys, to the Uncle Sharma channel here for another special preview episode. I've got my guy here, Tommaso Adani. What's up, Tommaso? Thank you for joining me today for this Hellas Verona preview.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. And it's the first time I'm live. It feels like I'm on television. I don't know. It's great. Love it.
You on TV. Don't swear. No, I'm joking. You can swear.
No, it's great. It's great. I like the feeling.
Give us a little intro to what you do. You know, the Anglo-Italian podcast that I appeared on last week. Just give the ladies and gentlemen a bit of an introduction to you.
Yeah, it's my friend Rory and I. We are both English teachers. We've met a few years back. Basically, all of our conversations are about football. And so we started writing a bunch of online articles, but then we realized we wanted to do something a little more dynamic, maybe. So we started recording a podcast. And I don't know, we're kind of new in the business. We started in September, but it's been going well. And thanks to people like Uncle Sharma and many, many others, you know, it's been a fun ride, and we intended to keep going. We talk mainly about Serie A and the Premier League. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter, the Anglo-Italian Connection Football Podcast. We couldn't think of a shorter name. We apologize. But that's it. And thank you for having me on tonight.
Yeah, no worries. No, thanks for coming on, man. You accepted my invite at the last minute. So that's always appreciated. Someone who's able to make changes on the go. Unlike our coach Antonio Conte, who's not very good at making last minute changes. He waits until the 85th minute to make a change. But recently, it seems like he's changed a little bit. We saw against Spezia making a change at halftime when Gagliardini was being, Gagliardini, and he put on Stefano Sensi at halftime, which was a big surprise. And Stefano Sensi came on and changed the match. So, are we starting to see some change in Antonio Conte? Do you think?
I don't know. I feel like it's very tough to say. Before I say that I see any change in Antonio Conte, I want to see that behavior repeatedly over time for a few games, because I've learned not to trust the man really, and he seems to really like that 87th minute substitution. So I wouldn't be too confident that he's really changed his mind. Or 91st, maybe Christian Eriksen knows something about that. So
my viewers know when I do a live stream, I play Eriksen bingo with the viewers. I say, guess the minute that Eriksen is going to come on. It's like, 86th, 87th. But nowadays, he doesn't even come on.
It depends how much extra time there is. If you know how much extra time there is, you can guess like 94th, probably 95th.
Yeah. But yeah, when I came onto your podcast, we were just coming off the Champions League draw that put us out of Europe totally. It was a very bad time for Interisti at that time. So obviously, me and you were like kind of venting, having like a therapy session with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
But now since then, it's been like two weeks since then or something, and things are looking a lot more positive right now. Six wins in a row. Could Inter make it 7 wins in a row, do you think, against Hellas Verona?
I think, look, the most interesting thing that a friend of mine kept saying, he's not an Inter fan. I mean, he is, but he started following recently. He's not really into the dynamics and everything. And he said, judging by how they play, Inter Milan do very well when they are behind. And I do agree with him. Like when we are 1-0 down, like we've come back from being a few goals down quite a few times this season. And at the same, I feel like that reflects Inter's attitude in the table as well, in the Serie A table. Like, I trust Inter more being second than being first. So it may sound a little weird, but I hope that for now, I don't want Inter to be winter champions. We don't need that right now. I think that we need to go in the winter break knowing that we are chasing somebody. Because everything that we said that we can swear, all that shit that always happens at Inter Christmas parties. I don't know what that shit is about, man. But every year there is something after that Christmas party that happens, and I'm not into gossip nor stuff like that. But it's like a physiological thing that we kind of fuck it up around December, So I hope that we win, and we win convincingly. I think we can do it. I think we have it in our strengths. I wouldn't be surprised for a good, solid win tomorrow, sound win tomorrow. But I would rather have them still be behind chasing somebody. Does it make sense?
I think that's a very good point. I think you make I haven't thought about that, but you're right, because in the past years, it's always been like that. Whenever I remember there was that one year with the Spalletti, and then the guys just like they were there, and then they just gave up. They were just like, yeah, I think it was D'Ambrosio who came out and admitted that, yeah, the team just gave up. So I think it makes sense. Yeah, I think this Inter team, these players are always doing better when there's something to aim for rather than you protecting. When you protect, like these guys can't protect the lead, can't protect, the
That's the
position.
thing. When we're up 1-0, it gets shaky. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Are we defending? Are we attacking? There is no balance really. After you get that result, it feels like the situation is sort of stale a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
We got a few comments coming in. Let's see. Are you guys saying, "Oh, Juve is still losing to Fiorentina"? Come on.
That? Hey, that was a sick goal by Vlahovic, man. That was a sick goal. I really liked it. By the way,
3-0 at the moment.
Can I apologize to anybody who's watching about like so if I turn on the light, my walls are yellow, so it looks like I'm in the sun. With the lights off, it looks like I'm in a cave, but I prefer it like this. Otherwise, it's a little too bright.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, man, I saw that goal before, and I was like, hey,
wow,
nice.
That is big, man. That is big because after the announcement today of them not getting that win that they were given versus Napoli, so now they don't have that
present, right?
Sorry,
a little Christmas present. I really like
nice
that.
The Fiji, the Lega, giving us a nice little present.
Merry Christmas to you guys. That was nice.
It's me with my Kinder Pinguin. Merry Christmas. Who else we got? We got Bin Vetter. What's up, man? You were losing 3-0, man.
3-0? Wow. Wait,
yeah, 3-0.
Are they actually down 3-0?
Yeah, look, I've got it up. It's finished. The match is finished. So Vlahovic, Alexander, own goal. Martin Cáceres, the ex scoring.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I just saw this. I thought they were still up 1-0. Oh my god, this is incredible. That's why my mate Michael was texting me.
Yes, come on.
Nice. Go Fiorentina. That's beautiful.
That was so unexpected, man. Fiorentina have been dog shit this year, and they turn up when it matters most. Wow, no, that is sick, man. That's so good for the Scudetto race. Because Juve now, how far behind are they? Let me just check the table quickly.
They are at 24 points right now, I think.
Yeah, so they're 6 points behind, and we could potentially go 9
up. Don't say it. Don't. Let's not jinx it. I'm not saying
I say we could. I'm not saying we are.
Wow. All right. So I know we don't focus on Juventus, but I don't know. Like, would Juventus fire Pirlo at some point if the results don't come? No,
I don't think so. I think they've made like a choice now. Like they're gone with Pirlo. They're gonna stick with it unless it's like catastrophic. He's like not making top 4, the Champions League spots. But then he would have to go. But I think they've gone for the cheaper choice with Sarri, someone that's gonna make him play better football wherever they wanted. So I don't think he's going to go unless it's like catastrophic. That's the same thing I said with Conte. I don't think at the moment in this situation, it doesn't make sense to fire coaches. You just hope for the best and keep going. Because it's probably, who are you going to get in? Like, are you either going to get Allegri back? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, Allegri would. No, I don't think Allegri would want anything to do with Juventus at this point in his career. I think he wants to prove himself somewhere else.
Yeah, and this is like the first somewhat good team. Yeah, I guess they played Roma, I think, at the start of the season, which they drew that one. So yeah, I would say this is probably
in the Serie A. They beat Barcelona in the Champions League, but yeah. And in Serie A before today, they had actually beat Naples 3-0. Just kidding. No, I'm very happy they revoked that. But the Italian media was showing it as if it was a win at times. So
yeah. That was the thing. It was like
Sky Sports showing the wins without Ronaldo, the one with against the Naples. You're like, what? But yeah, how are you feeling about tomorrow night's game?
As I said to you before we came on live, I'm not too confident because Hellas Verona are a bit of a tricky team. They don't score many goals, but they don't concede many goals either. I think they have the best second. Well, I don't know actually what the actual updated stat is now. They conceded 3 goals to Juventus, but they were the second best defense in the league. So they're a pretty good defensive team. Even AC Milan, I think, drew against them. So they're a tricky team to play, and we struggle against teams that defend deep and defend well. We struggle to break them down, and I feel like, I don't know what you think. I feel like Inter have been low on energy in the last few matches. It's the same players playing. I don't know how Barella, this guy, how he's still running, being the top, covering the most kilometers every match, because this guy must be made of something like, out of this world, because I don't understand how this guy is still going, because he was supposed to be injured. I remember for the even for the Shakhtar match, he was supposed to be injured, and somehow he played. Like, what is this guy made of? Like, what do they feed him in Sardinia?
Yeah. So they have good food. They have very good wine too. Cannonau. Maybe he's just like very hyped up on a Cannonau, the very good Sardinian red wine. No, man, Barella has been. So some time ago, I was watching. I think it was 2 match days ago. This Inter game with the French commentary. It was awful. Well, it was just terrible. I don't know. I really didn't like the 2 commentators, but at some point, they did say something that was pretty interesting, and that is very true. Something that I had noticed, but I'd never really put into words, which was every interplay at some point goes through Barella. And that's true. He really dictates that change of rhythm. Whenever he gets the ball, you see Lautaro starts running one direction, Lukaku drops deep. There is a lot of movement involved, and like the boring thing, I think that Conte ball, the so-called Conte ball, is kind of funny because it's very slow, but when it picks up, like when you get a sting, it's very quick. And that's what I don't really understand. I'm like, if you're able to do like the Hakimi goal the other day, that's a very quick play, like 3 touches, free man. He's very fast. He can move the ball forward and score. So I'm like, why don't they try that more often? There is all that possession and the going back and going forward, and before they get an idea, it's so long. But when they get it, it's very quick. So I'm like, But Barella really fits in very well in that system because he's a slow player with like spurs of energy, though. And when he's got that spur of energy, like orchestrates the whole team. So I think he really thrives in Conte's system at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Answering your question, I don't know what he's made of, but he's an incredible player, yeah.
No, and I agree. But I think that's the problem with our system at the moment. I don't think Barella should be the one orchestrating, because I don't think that he has he's good. Like, he has an all-around game. Like, he has vision and passing ability, but that's not his, like, his specialty. That's why I think when Sensi comes in, and Sensi has been the game changer in the last few matches, when he came on against Napoli, he was the one that, he created that chance for the penalty. And against Spezia, he won the penalty as well. Like, the team just looks different when Sensi is there compared to, obviously, comparing him to Gagliardini, there's no point. Even if we put Vecino and compared to Gagliardini, there will be improvement. But I think Sensi is really is the key to this season. I think he really is the catalyst. So yeah,
I mean, if Sensi does come back fit and able to play most of the games, we don't really need to intervene that badly in the winter window. I mean, we will and we should, because at the end of the day, if you can, why wouldn't you? If you've got the possibility to do it. But I don't think that this team really needs that many changes. But if Sensi can really perform in that position constantly, we've got that's like a new signing, and he's already there. Yeah, he's the heart of the team, big time. Yeah. I can see Barella being a future captain very easily. If he stays there, I don't know if he will, but as of now, I can definitely see the personality.
Yeah, so Bin says Sensi and Hakimi, they need to start from the beginning. Yeah, that's I think that's a good point. We'll see. But the thing with Sensi is I don't think Conte doesn't want to start him. It's just that you have to be so cautious with Sensi now. He's every time that he's come back, there's been some sort of setback with the injury. So he's like trying to ease him back into the team, give him. So I think the 45 minutes he had against Spezia, that's the longest he's played. So I think he's going to, hopefully, maybe he does get the start. Maybe he gets 50, 60 minutes now. So I would like to see, so we get the predicted lineups up now, just to start talking about the potential.
The other thing about Sensi is that as talented as he is, he's very I mean, he's not like the strongest physically, so you gotta be careful. And he's one that like attracts a lot of fouls, so you want to be careful before you restart him because he draws a lot of fouls, and if he gets a bad one, that could be very bad for him. Yeah, for the whole team.
Yeah. every time Sensi goes down there, I can just see on Twitter everyone's like, "No, Sensi, no, is he okay? Please."
He's like, I remember when Kivu came to Inter, he had a name tag within. Anytime we call it name tag, like a nickname, that was Swarovski, because he was always broken. Like, it was a very beautiful crystal, but it could break very easily. And I feel like that's Sensi a little bit. And I hope it really comes back.
His muscles, because the thing is that his injuries are never serious. It's not like he's got the ACL injury or like, you know, those crazy career threatening injuries. There's always just little muscular things, and it just seems like, you know, the Conte training is very famously the Antonio Pintus, the technical preparator, or whoever, you know, the backroom staff, that they're famous for their very, you know, intense training. So it seems like it doesn't suit Sensi, but they said now they're going to put him on like a personalized training regime, so maybe that will make a difference, maybe something a little bit softer for him.
Or he's going to get jacked, the opposite. Can you imagine? He's going to become like a Dama Traore. That would be hilarious.
Send him to Bayern Munich for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, anyway, on the lineup, say from who scored, we don't have Sensi starting. The midfield is Brozovic, Vidal coming back in after his injury, and Barella, which I'm pretty happy with. I know Vidal's received a lot of criticism this year, quite rightly. You know, he's not provided that experience that, you know, he was supposed to provide in the big matches in the Champions League, obviously with the stupid red card, the stupid penalty he gave away against the Gladbach as well. But in general, I feel like he's been a good addition to the team, so I'm happy to see Vidal starting. What do you think of Vidal?
I mean, well, I don't know. Number one, I've got a thing for Chile. It's the country I traveled to. I was hitchhiking in Chile, and I've got a lot of Chilean friends, and whenever Vidal or Sanchez or any Chilean signs for Inter Milan, there is like, we get in touch and we talk about it. So I have that connection. Then Vidal, besides that, which is of course stupid, but besides that, I mean, Vidal, he is a serial winner. He's a player that I highly respect. He's won in every league that he's played in. A warrior, literally. That's why he's got that nickname. I mean, I remember him at Juventus, and that was a player that I really envied at Juventus. I was like, wow, that guy can defend, that guy can attack, that guy can shoot. I like what he's been doing at Inter. The only thing is that I cannot fully trust him. Like, I would not give him all my money at this moment. You know, like I would give it to Lukaku, for example. You know, I would give him all my money and be like, yeah, you're going to... Vidal, I don't know. On the way with my money, he would do something stupid, you know, like he
definitely looks like someone. If you give him some money, he'll go to the casino or something.
Yeah, I don't know, like some shit is gonna happen. And like in the games, I love his intensity, and I understand why him and Conte are a match made in heaven. But I want him to show me that he can be also, besides bringing the intensity, he can also bring like his footballing skills. Besides the defensive ones that we've seen a lot, I want to see a little more like setup plays, like setting up plays, like moving forward. He's been doing that, but not at Vidal level, in my opinion. I might be wrong. I've never really confronted myself with anybody about this, but that's the feeling I've been having. I haven't been super excited when I see Vidal in the starting lineup.
No, I agree. In terms like Vidal over his career, when you look back, every season, like, it's crazy. He's got at least 6 or 7 goals minimum per every season. Last year for Barcelona, even though he wasn't a starter, he had 10 goals from midfield. So he's a goal scoring midfielder, and that's what I thought. Sorry, continue.
No. I was like, yeah, you didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I thought he would bring to the team mainly. But then Conte, at the beginning of the season, he said that he sees, because of his age, he says he sees Vidal in a deeper role, which was a bit confusing. And then I think he did like a bit of a U-turn on that, because we saw then he started playing when we were still playing the 3-4-1-2. A couple of matches he played in the attacking midfield role instead of Barella a couple of times. And then now when we play the 3-5-2, he's given a little bit more freedom to go into the box, because he's very good. Even though he's not the tallest, he's very good heading the ball. Like he's a very good aerial threat, and his movement, like he's got like a striker's movement in the box sometimes. But he's made some bad misses this year. Like he's got a couple of bad misses. Like there was one header against Benevento that was like very easy. That miss against Atalanta when he was 1v1. Like there's a few.
That was bad.
Yeah, but I still have faith in Vidal.
Oh yeah, I mean, he at the end of the day, he's Vidal. So when I'm not going to complain about the fact that he's starting. That
we had Borja Valero in that role last year. Let's not forget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also I don't see Gagliardini in the starting lineup. Roberto, as much as like you've been, I don't take anything away from Roberto. Like he's been good for us and everything, but for once, not seeing Gagliardini as a starter, like I don't know, it's also nice like to see that we can do other things besides like playing Gagliardini at midfield. But yeah, I don't know. I think look, we might have called it. Let's call it Vidal goal tomorrow against Verona. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah. Live on the stream, Vidal goal tomorrow. Yes,
he must be.
We can take a little clip. We can take a little clip for this and put it up when he scores tomorrow. Let's give a few more shout outs to people on the live. We've got my guy from Inter Worldwide, Anthony. He's got something else to watch apart from that Viola clinic. Yes, man. We were just talking about that Viola 3-0 clinic. Cesare Prandelli coming through.
First win, right? Since he's back. Incredible. Look,
Mohammed says he want to give us a shock with Gallia. It looks like let's see. It looks like he might not be starting. I'd definitely rather see Vidal over Gagliardini.
Yeah.
Zizo says since he's like a pair of new crepes that you don't want to scratch or damage. Yeah, he's like those when you buy a new Air Force One, Nike Air Force Ones, the white ones, and you don't want to ruin them. Seriously though, why does not the opponents that foul Barella and Lukaku get penalized more often? He takes a beating. Yeah, Barella, man, that guy. Last few games, he's been like fouled so many times. He's been, but I guess it's like
it's. I mean, I don't think. I think I haven't seen. Look, I haven't really noticed like big refereeing mistakes or like stuff like that recently. I think that Barella is naturally a player that takes on a lot of fouls. Yeah. And look, I think he thrives in that situation. Like he kind of likes the intensity of like also like getting fouled on. Like don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure it hurts and everything, but he loves the intensity. Like he does that. He fouls people, and he knows that he's going to be fouled back.
Yeah, he goes for those 50-50s that other players don't go for. Like him and Vidal both. They always go for these duels that other players don't go for.
But I have noticed too. Yeah, he takes beating every single game. Every single game is a tough one for Barella. And he had a black eye sometime. He had a black eye some time ago, right?
Yeah.
I felt like that was so fitting to Barella. Like he gets hit all the time,
What do you think of Skriniar? I really feel good when I see him from. Yeah, man. This season has been the redemption of Skriniar. Last year, a lot of people started to doubt him. Even Conte seemed like he doubted him a little bit. But I think that was a little bit exaggerated because right at the end he was taken out. What were you about to say?
No. Yeah, I just said I agree. I think we are a little delayed. No. I just said I agree. Yeah. And before coming on answering this question, I was actually looking at the lineups and I was looking at Skriniar's last starts. I mean, he's been playing consistently ever since the match day 7. Right now it's going to be match day 14. And I never really understood last year what was all the criticism about. I mean, he had some bad games, but at some point when I heard that he was on the market, I was like, if we really have, so before COVID really hit, I was like, if we really want to make money selling someone, Skriniar might be one of the names that you might have to sacrifice, But then it became, I don't know, we didn't really have to make that much money. And I thought it was good that Godin left instead of Skriniar. I think at the end of the day, that was a good move, like a relief of your wage bill. And then like you invest on the younger talent rather than on the veteran. I think that was a good move. and I'm happy to see Skriniar. I've seen more than even he's had a few mistakes in the past few games, but I love his energy, the intensity. I feel like De Vrij, who's a leader, he also needed somebody else to take like the relay from him at times. You know, like I can't be always the only one shouting. Like, and I feel like Skriniar is doing that very well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a lot of people forget that he started the season last year with at the left centre back position, which is probably why he looked really bad, because obviously he's very right-footed, and you know, Bastoni came into the team more later on after like November. He was becoming more regular. So, you know, if you put a right-footed centre back on the left side, like he's not gonna look right. And now he's playing right centre back, which should be the position. But I would also like to see him. You know, we saw Bastoni tested in the middle. I think Skriniar in the middle of the three would be amazing, because he's very good on the ball as well.
Yeah,
but obviously De Vrij is there. But I'm just saying that if De Vrij doesn't play, sometimes I would like to see Skriniar in that position.
And about our defense, I'm just every time I see Bastoni in the lineup, I'm very happy. Like, I wish I saw stuff like this happen a little more often, like invest in a younger player that is low-key very, very good, and you believe in him and you make him grow and he comes up the ranks. Bastoni, also for the Italian national team, as an Italian, I'm very excited. I think he's got a lot of confidence. He just has to drive forward with a little more confidence, in my opinion. He could become, you know, when Bonucci had that season of just like pinpoint passes from the defense, he still does that. Yeah. But one season it was super apparent. I feel like Bastoni can learn how to do that very well.
Yeah, no, I love him. What a signing he was. Zizo says my Biragi propaganda came through today. So on Twitter, because last season I kind of defended Biragi, because he was like, you know, he was like the Gagliardini of last season. Everyone seemed to be attacking him at some point, and I was just saying, like, look at the stats. You know, he's not doing so bad. So, and then they started calling me as like the Biragi protector or something.
He had an assist tonight, right?
I'm guessing he had a good game today. So shouts out to Cristiano, the real Cristiano.
Chibi, what was his number last year? I don't even remember. 36, maybe? Something weird like that.
Yeah. Big up. Oh, yeah. I got the 1K subs today. So thank you, everyone who.
Cheers, man.
Subscribed. Yeah, no, that was very good. I did like a little last minute push on Twitter since yesterday, I was like 50 away, and yeah, Twitter was very good in pushing, helping out. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anthony.
That's a very cool logo from Interwide. That was very sweet.
Yeah,
I like the little snake. Nice.
Oh yeah, you can't see the world. It's supposed to say Interworldwide. You can't see the world.
Oh yeah, I can see a little bit now. Yeah.
So cool. they're another YouTube channel, like they do intercontinent as well. He's from Australia, Anthony. He's pretty cool guy.
What's up?
Yeah, I would recommend him. I would recommend to get him on your podcast someday.
Yeah, guys, add us on Twitter. Our name is Italian @ItalianAngloPod, and on Instagram it's @Anglo-Italian-Pod. Just because we're kind of weird. No, we couldn't have the same names on both social networks for some reason. But yeah.
Bjorn, I think he's talking about Skriniar still. Yeah, I think Skriniar's not going anywhere now. I don't think it was just because, you know, Spurs were clearly interested in him, but I don't think it meant that Inter put him on the market. Like, you know, it's not like they transfer listed him. I think it was Mourinho clearly wanted Skriniar, but they came with like 30 million, which was like ridiculous offer. So it was just like, it was not even serious.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going anywhere. You know, minimum you have to come 50, 60 million, then we can start talking with Skriniar.
But also with the current market, I don't think there are going to be any big moves before the summer. I think things are going to stay. Some teams might lay like something like that, like I don't know, get 30 million off someone, but I don't think it's going to be the norm this transfer window. And I think that's good. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be interesting. I feel like this pandemic has changed as it's changed many other aspects of life, probably forever. Also football. I don't know. I feel like this break that there was like stopped many major things from happening, and it's interesting to see. It was like something that nobody could foresee, of course, but it's been interesting to see how different clubs have coped with it. Then, of course, it's very sad for like a lot of clubs that have had to shut down because without fans, they couldn't really do much. But at the higher level, for the higher up teams, it's been interesting to see how they've been responding to this emergency.
Yeah, no, spot on. Yeah, is a very different landscape right now, and that's why I don't think even in January much is going to happen. People are saying, De Paul, Locatelli, all these players, but I don't really see much happening in the January transfer window, which moves me on to one of the things I wanted to ask you about. Il Papu Gomez, yes or no to Inter?
I'll make it short. So Papu Gomez, yes, from like a fantasy football point of view, from like an excitement point of view and everything. But when I think about it, I think that we have a lot of names already. I think that we have a team that if Sensi is back in full form, we don't even need to like get anybody else at midfield. Maybe we would need another striker. We would need another striker, like the sort of like Giroud type, just to have there ready to go. That could be good. But besides that, what was the question again? I'm sorry, I got lost in my thoughts.
Just Papu Gomez, do you think?
No. I was thinking. So we already got a lot of names, and Papu Gomez to come in, he would take away space from Sanchez. That I think the bits that he's been giving, he's been performing well, and I don't know. I feel like we would be a little too stacked, maybe, and then there would be too much pressure on the team. So I'm good. I love Papu Gomez, but also seeing how Conte is strict with his system, that free-flowing like position up front, is it going to work out? Is it not? And if not, it's going to be another Eriksen, another one. Come on, please. No. Nobody wants that. I don't know. I think he would be, if I was him, I wouldn't choose Inter right now.
Yeah, if he wants to try to win a trophy after Atalanta, I think it makes sense. But I think personally for me, I think for him would make sense. Like if he wants to a system that would make sense, I think AC Milan, with Çalhanoğlu, his contract is expiring in 6 months, and I think he would be perfect in that, behind the striker in the attacking midfield role, having that free role behind Ibrahimovic, whoever plays up front, because Hakan has a lot of freedom there as well. So I think he would have the perfect role for him there. Whereas at Inter, as you said, I'm on the same page as you. Personally, I would love to see Papu Gomez. He's one of my favorite Serie A players. But again, we don't want to see another Eriksen situation. Is he going to being given the freedom by Conte? Where is he going to fit in the system? Is he too similar to Alexis Sanchez that we already have? Like what? I'm not sure it's a need. It would be a similar buy to Eriksen because it's an opportunity in the market. And it's not maybe a need in the team. It's more like like Marotta said, Eriksen was the opportunity. So we had to he thought this is the best chance we're going to get Eriksen for 20 million. So this is like the best chance you're going to get to have Papu Gomez for a low cost.
Oh, I'm not going to complain if it comes to Inter at all. No, fine. Like I'm fine. But at that point, I really hope that like something works out. If it comes to Inter and then doesn't play, he doesn't start, like, but then even if he starts, like, whose place is he going to take at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Do we go back to the 3-4-1-2? Do we, to put him back in the CAM position, or does he play instead of Sanchez or Lautaro here and there, or we change to 3-4-2-1? Having two little guys behind Lukaku, but I don't think, it doesn't seem like Conte is willing to change formation at the moment. So, yeah, I'm not really sure.
This might be a little bit of a late night thought, but sometimes I hope that besides the 3-5-2, I've thought about it so many times, that besides the 3-5-2, Conte had like a second lineup with a back four to just throw in for some games. Like that would
that's what everyone wants.
You have two lineups and your team perfects both of them. They go to training every day. You can learn how to play with two different modules, right? And sticking to that one has not won us the Champions League nor anything yet. So maybe it's, I don't know. Let's try something new. All right, whatever.
What do you think for the Milan Lazio? Zizo asks.
Good one. Good one. I don't know. I tend to be very pessimistic when it comes to AC Milan. I tend to think that before every derby, I'm always honestly, generally, I'm at the stadium and I'm generally worried. And then we always win pretty much. So about tomorrow night, I think AC Milan are going to win, but I like the narrative. Like I can see Lazio winning. I think at some point AC Milan are going to get exposed. They
Yeah,
they got exposed in Europa League with Lille, and it felt like nobody really noticed it. At some point, they're going to get exposed in Serie A. It's got to come at some point. I don't know if it's Lazio, the last game of the year. We will see. It's definitely an interesting matchup. Usually, it's Inter that plays Lazio at the end of the year,
yeah,
and in December we always play Lazio. This year it's AC Milan. But yeah, it's an
yeah.
interesting matchup. What's your take?
Yeah, I think Lazio are a team because of their style of play. They'd always do better in big matches, like we saw against Napoli the other day. Against Inter, they got a draw. Last year they beat Juventus a few times. Because of the style of play, they sit back and counterattack, so they fit these big matches. But I think a draw. I think Milan will somehow find a way. Like they have all this confidence at the moment. They somehow find a way to get the result, even though they have midfield missing. I think Krunic will have to play in midfield. I think Çalhanoğlu will have to play because Tonali is out as well. Benacer, Kessie are also out. I'm hoping for a win, but I reckon it will be a 2-2 draw. That's my prediction for that one. As you said, I don't mind. I don't mind finishing second in this year. As you said, I think it's best for Inter for it to finish second and have that second or that first position to aim for.
Yeah, it's not really paid off to be first, top of the league at the winter break in the past years.
Yeah. January predictions. As I said, I think it's going to be quiet. I think it's going to be a quiet transfer market because we have to rely on someone buying our players, which I don't think is going to happen. Our players' wages are tricky, like Nangolan's wages, even though Cagliari wants him, his wages are high. And they got Godin as well now, who has high wages, so I don't think they can afford him. Vecino, those types of players as well, Perisic. If one of them leaves, then maybe we can see Ericsson as well. I don't see really, even though Ericsson should leave, I don't see Ericsson leaving. I don't see any team willing to spend the 7.5 million net wages that he earns, apart from like PSG or a Premier League team. So I'm expecting maybe a left wing back on a loan, like maybe a Marcos Alonso or a Emerson Palmieri from Chelsea, like a free loan or something, and a cheap target man striker like a Fernando Llorente, or so Leonardo Pavoletti was linked today because of the Cagliari link. So something like that I think is going to happen in January. What do you think?
I really like Leonardo Pavoletti. Leonardo Pavoletti
Yeah.
Leonardo Pavoletti has a great history. He's like, man, I don't know. I've always sort of felt compassion for the guy because he used to be a very good striker. Like there was a moment, but man, injuries after injuries, like so many injuries. And there was actually a friend of mine from Modena, where you used to live. A friend of his is a physiotherapist, and he used to assist like a senior physiotherapist who had Pavoletti as one of his patients. And it was like, man, it's very difficult to see somebody who at 27, they are in their footballing prime, but you're like, man, the more you play, the more you're going to do yourself like damage. I think he's had a lot of like surgery after that, but he's that. But no, besides that, I agree with you. I think I'm not a big transfer market guy. Like I'm not good at to predict like money swaps and stuff like that. I think that there is going to be an Ericsson swap. And I heard Pogba Ericsson swap till the end of the season. I don't know. But I would take it under Pogba under Conte. Maybe he's going to grow another mohawk. Yeah, I don't know. That would be awesome. But yeah, there's going to be. I think Ericsson is going to go on loan with they're going to do a loan swap till the end of the season with somebody. Yeah, I would like a hitman up front too, like somebody that when the Lukaku Lautaro connection is not more working, just comes out from the bench, you cross the ball in once from Ashley Young or Hakimi, and boom, it goes in. Yeah, I think we need that.
Yeah. Tyler asks best option. I mean, this is if we're talking realistically, as I said, I think one of the Chelsea ones, because they have so many left backs at the moment, it makes sense for them to at least loan one of them out to us, like Marcos Alonso. Obviously, Conte loves him, and Emerson Palmieri. Not the best left backs in the world, but they're better than even Perisic. He's tried his best at left wing back, but it's not his position. And Ashley Young, he's had a bit of a dip this season. Like last year we thought, okay, it looks like he could do a job there, but he's not been very convincing this year, Ashley Young. So we definitely need. But in an ideal world, I would like Filip Kostic from Eintracht Frankfurt. He's like my favorite pick because he's like amazing left foot, and he puts like 7-8 assists a season, 5-6 goals a season. Like he's a complete player. Or Gosens as well would be amazing in the Conte system. He's a powerhouse, but I don't think we can afford those guys at the moment. But do you have any dream left wing backs?
No, I just wish. It's a position that ever since Zanetti, if you think about it, ever since Zanetti has retired, it's a position that we've always struggled with. We struggle a lot with. I think Inter have got to be careful because historically we haven't had the strongest defenses, and right now also with this change of module, like right now we're good with the Vrij screener and everything, but I think that we have been missing like a sort of Maicon back in the day at Zanetti, somebody that he's not going to be there for a season on loan. I think we should have a solid target, somebody to invest on. We tried with Lazzaro Valentino as well. Didn't really pan out the way we were thinking, but I don't know. I think that's a position that Inter should invest on. I don't have a dream one, but it's a position that they need to definitely do some research on, deep research on.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's been a problem position. So let's just finish up. Sorry.
No, there was the question.
Giroud.
I don't know if.
I don't know. It seems like he might stay at Chelsea now because he scored that hat trick against Sevilla in the Champions League, and I think now Lampard's going to start playing him again. And I don't know how much he's going to come here to be the backup to Lukaku. So I don't know how much especially now Inter not in Europe. I don't think he's going to be happy about coming in being a backup to Lukaku. So. Yeah, I don't think Giroud is a realistic target anymore. But yeah, let's just finish up with the lineups. I'm pretty happy with that lineup there. The usual back line, the midfield that we talked about before. Ashley Young on the left wing back. Are you happy with that? Would you go with Perisic or Darmian?
Man, Perisic, I haven't been very excited when he's come on this season. I think he's playing out of position. I don't think he really has it in him. I think he's not a warrior, right? Like he's a talented football player, but I don't think he's got the spirit of a warrior. And he's won a Champions League, and he was in a World Cup final with Croatia. I think he's kind of not. I don't think he was even that excited to be back at Inter, to be honest. And
he just won the triplete with the Bayern. So.
Yeah, and Ashley Young, the other day, did you see when he dodged the two defenders, went between them, and then shot on target? That was sweet. I like that. So I don't know. I think, and Ashley Young has got a goal in him. So I think something good could happen there.
Yeah. So overall, pretty happy with the lineup, as we said. Lukaku, Martinez up front. It has to be because Sanchez is injured, Pinamonti's injured. So we don't have any option. What about for Hellas Verona? Is there any player that you think we should watch out for? I think Zaccagni, you can see there from the rating, he's got the highest rating in the team, 7.11 average rating. And I think he
has been having a hell of a season.
I heard we are interested in him as well. I heard that Piero Ausilio likes him.
He scored 3 goals, 4 assists this season. He's showing people are starting to talk about his name. He's been, and I mean, Verona are a very good ensemble of veterans of the game and newer names, and Juric was very good at making them all fit together. And Zaccagni has been one of the revelations this season, and also Tamez. I don't know if he's yeah, is expected to play. Like central midfielder in, I think 2 games ago, I don't remember who they were playing. He scored a goal too. He played as a forward, like he was a false 9 basically. And they're a very versatile team. I don't think they haven't had very good results, only 1 win over the past 5 games. I think they're not coming to get walked all over. And I think we're going to have a game. But as I was telling you before we started recording, sometimes Inter surprise me and win these games 3-4-0. So looking at it like this, I would say that Verona is a team that we should watch out for. And I mean, we could even draw this game. I think we're superior, but I know that Verona are going to put up a fight. I would forecast, since nobody asked me, my forecast would be like a 2-1, but a hard fought, like 2-1. In Verona, it's going to be cold. It's December. These games suck, guys. Let's be honest. These games are usually kind of annoying. Like when you play at Atalanta, fucking hell, I hate that game. Every year, Atalanta is the worst. But Verona is a difficult pitch too. And we've got a good coach, a good ensemble, very good goalkeeper. I think that right now that it's become apparent that Inter need to replace their goalkeeper, the sooner the better. I mean, Andanovic, don't get me wrong, Andanovic still has it in him. He's just not as consistent as he used to be. He's a little old. He's been there this whole time. He needs a rest, and I think we need to bring on the next one. At Inter, we have a tradition of very good goalkeepers, and I love that about our club, that it's something we don't overlook. CC, Liverpool, that can cost you a Champions League final. You know, like Inter Milan, make sure that they have a good goalkeeper. Right now, the talks are around the Silvestri, Musso from Udinese, Cragno from Cagliari. And as it often happens in these cases, when you know that a team wants to buy you, I think you're going to perform extra well when you play against them. I think Silvestri he's been performing, and I think he's going to have a very good game tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that's you answered my question that I wanted to ask you, the prediction. So you went for a 2-1. Now you convinced me. I was going for a draw, but now you've like turned me. Your positivity is like turned me into. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Inter win as well. There's actually 3. There's 3, I think, former Inter players on that team. There's Salcedo, Marco, Faraoni. Yeah, we got like a nice and a possible future Inter player in Silvestri, as you said.
Yeah. Silvestri is a good goalkeeper, man. Silvestri and Musso. I'm trying to watch more and more Verona and Udinese games to kind of understand which one I like the better. I miss a little bit. I miss a Julio Cesar type of goalkeeper. You know, very
crazy.
Crazy. Like not technical, but with a good. He was technical, but it was more instinct. You know, like he had it in him, and he was like a cat.
Yeah,
he fucked it up sometimes, but sometimes Andanovic feels a little too stiff, in my opinion. So something a little more.
Yeah, my choice out of the 3 was Cragno. Not just now, like for a few years. Then he got a serious injury, Cragno. Like he had the ACL injury. Now this season he's come back again to a good level. But then I realized against in the Inter match, he's quite short for a keeper. He's like 1.85 m, I think, which is not very tall for a keeper. So I think Silvestri and Musso would probably be a better option because they're quite big. But then I don't know. Then both of them are not very convincing to me. Even though Silvestri, as you said, I think he might be the best keeper this year in Serie A in form wise. Him and Donnarumma this year. But I like to watch keepers a little bit more.
Yeah, you also have to think. I mean, that's something about goalkeepers that's why there is also like a whole different scouting around the goalkeepers and stuff, because then Verona have got a very good defense. They're one of the best, maybe second best or best defense in the league this year. But then you put Silvestri, I'm saying, just to play with De Vrij and somebody else who's very good at that position, some of the best in the league. I think that at that point you make the extra step. Like the goalkeeping position depends a lot also on the defense that you have in front of you, on the entire team that you have in front of you, really.
Yeah, no, spot on, man, spot on. But yeah, that was like our preview. We're both gone for 2-1 victories. We're gone for the 7th win in a row for Inter. Let's see how it turns out. We predicted Arturo Vidal goal. Let's see how that turns out.
I had forgotten about that. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, Tommaso, thank you very much for joining, man. That was a pleasure. We talked longer than we planned, but it was a nice little chat.
This is the good thing about a lockdown, right? You don't have anywhere to go. You can just like talk with a friend for some time and not worry about it, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people were saying Eddie Salcedo's going to score on us. Yeah, our older players always like to score against us.
Yeah.
Yo.
I really like the frog thing.
Yeah. If we don't get Donnarumma, AC Milan will be ahead of us next year. Yeah, Donnarumma's contract is expiring at the end of this season. So if Raiola...
Hilarious. That would be hilarious. I don't really think about it because I don't see it happening. But if it happened, hey, that would be fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Lou, man. We've both gone for the 2-1 prediction. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining, man. Make sure to leave a thumbs up. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Make sure to leave a thumbs up for the video if you've enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to check out the Anglo-Italian pod on Twitter or Instagram. I'll leave a comment down below afterwards in the YouTube to link them. But yeah, thank you, Tommaso. Thank you everyone for watching, and
thank you guys.
More post-match reaction. Ciao.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas.